Now, if you're looking for leadership in politics when it comes to, say, anti-Semitism, and really just the identification of good and evil, you might find it in Europe. Member of Parliament Assita Kanko is being celebrated for this really powerful moment, and it was directed towards a colleague who compared Israel to the Nazis.
I'm very shocked by the intervention of my colleague. We all here stand for human rights. We stand for the fact that all humans are equal. I really don't know where you have been staying the past days, but maybe you were on the moon or anywhere else. But have you seen what happened in Israel? Have you seen that people went into houses to find human beings, to bring them outside, to kill, kidnap, or kill the babies just because they are Jews? Do you remember history? Do you remember what happened on European soil? Do you want anything like that to happen again? Did you see that a teacher was killed in France last Friday? That today marks 3 years of the assassination and beheading of Samuel Paty? Why don't you speak up against the violation of our rights and our values in Europe? Have you seen the people also chanting in Rome, in London, in Paris, in Amsterdam, in Rotterdam, saying that we are the bad ones, saying that they are defending Palestinians, but in fact they are supporting the Islamic terror group Hamas? Did you see that? Why don't you speak against that? You know, the Palestinians are the first victims of the Hamas. Shame on you.
Yeah, incredible. And I'm pleased to say she joins me now. Assita, thank you so much. I love your passion. What I can't fathom is the fact that some people need to be convinced that what Hamas did was evil.
Yes, good morning, Erin. Thank you for having me. I apologize. It's 7:10 in Belgium, and I'm still in my hotel room and not in the office yet. No, I can't understand why people are taking our rights for granted and accepting this behavior that is actually impacting human dignity and not speaking up against it. For me, it's completely unacceptable and unbelievable. I was born in an area without freedom, and freedom is something you need to fight for. And right now, this is not what Europe is doing.
There was a lot of support for you in that chamber, a lot of people clapping. What was the reaction to you once the cameras stopped rolling afterwards? Did a lot of your fellow parliamentarians come up to you?
Yes, yes, indeed. A lot of fellow parliamentarians came to me. I must say President Metsola is also very outspoken about human rights. And even until in the bathroom, I had colleagues who were speaking about how much they agreed with what I said. And I hope that in the coming weeks, months, years, we're going to translate that into concrete actions for human rights.
Looking at the reaction over in Europe, here in Australia, when you look at Russia and Ukraine, there is the clear aggressor and the clear victim, and the majority of people here see it that way. With this conflict in the Middle East, it's been so divisive, and I can't for the life of me understand how some people can continue to defend Hamas. What's the reaction in general been like in Europe?
In general, the problem is that a lot of people are still quite hypocritical or opportunistic. So when they speak about Hamas, especially from the left side, they act as if Hamas is just a random organization, a politically random organization. And some people on the left side even fail to qualify Hamas, to call Hamas a terror organization, what it is, and what the European Union has also decided. So it's still very much a fight to have people say what Hamas truly is, although they have seen all the atrocities committed by Hamas. And Hamas is not only a threat to Israel, it's also a threat to women. It's a threat to all Jews worldwide because it's based on radical Islam. It's a threat to all critical thinkers. It's a threat to Europe, just like ISIS was, just like Al-Qaeda was. And this naivety that I see in Europe now is worrying me very much for the future. We had a minister from the Belgian government who failed to call Hamas a terror organization. I wrote a letter to the Prime Minister asking to clarify, as they're going to chair the EU as of January 2024. And when you look around, there are people who demonstrate saying that they support the Palestinians. And when you look among them, you see left-wing politicians who demonstrate alongside them, together with organizations like Samidun, who clearly celebrated the atrocities that happened on October 7th. This is also unacceptable. So in the parliament, I requested that the European Commission take action against organizations like Samidun, But for me, who was born in Burkina Faso, one of the poorest countries in the world, grew up under dictatorship and inside a traditional Islamic family, I succeeded to become secular, to learn how to appreciate freedom and to stand for it. And I have the impression that in Europe, we have too long been taking freedom for granted and being taking the heritage of enlightenment for granted, and we need to fight for it again. It's completely absurd that we need to convince people that they have to fight for this. But usually they will support migrants who are not integrated, who are not defending our values, but supporting Hamas, for example, or other traditions and Sharia elements, just because they want to have the votes. But politics should be about ideas, not about complying with the opposite of our freedom.
Assita, that is so incredibly powerful. So many of those sentiments are echoed here in Australia. You put it brilliantly. I suspect this is not the last that we will see of you, and I hope you'll join me back on my show again in the future. Thank you so much for your time. I know you were feeling unwell and you nearly cancelled on us, but we got you to stay, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Erin. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much.